Hello and welcome back to SpeedyNet, the one and only company present in the past, now and future, or at least that's what I like to believe. And we are also looking at our next target for today. Not just the only target, there is also another target over here. 2 more bauxite mines that we need to add into the fold. And luckily for us, they're actually rather easily situated. So yeah, we are going to add them. But before we do that, I do want to show you guys one thing that we kind of forgot to look at last time, and that is operating profit graph. Well, that's not great. I was expecting something more like this because of all the train renovations that we did. Now we have actually fallen down to the levels of almost the before the 1970s. Wow, I do not know where this great demise comes from. I assume that this is a result of the great dip that we had in the engineering supplies. Where is it? The great engineering supplies dip that we had over here as a result of basically the whole readjusting of the timber production. I don't know, I believe it is, we produce the actual engineering supplies over here. And I can safely say that as of right now, we kinda do have a bit of a backlog. Let's keep an eye on this to see if this... Wait, did I saw something clipping there? No, but let's keep an eye on this and see if this becomes worse. You know, this build up, this backlog. I assume that, yeah, look, there's like 2 more trains coming, another one coming. So I assume it just has something to do with like, okay, how many trains are coming, you know, like there's still a bit like, okay, here they'll come, and then there's a moment of nothingness in the whole collection of them. But I'm not sure, you know, I could be wrong on this, so we'll keep an eye on it. We'll return to this later. But I think the great dip has to do with that imbalance. Now, another imbalance that we have is that there is metal building up over here. And we are gonna get more metal here because we have 2 more bauxite mines. I think that we can safely already add 1 more bauxite, wait no, I mean metal train to the list over here. So let us do that, and rather than just copy paste it, let us actually adjust this for better capacities, because I do not know, but how are the stats? I mean, we know your max speed 780 kilonewton for 324 metal. Alright, time to see what the new wagons will bring us if we put this metal to it, because we have a bogey bolster car. That was not the one I was looking for. Yeah, this is the one. We have a steel coil car. So if I were to build 7, or to a length of 7 for this one, you can already see that we have a slight increase in capacity here. If we compare it and say total cargo, look, that's 40 tons more. I think we should definitely use these new steel coil car thingies from now on. But I think this is a nice addition, and we need to get this, just not only for the backlog that we already have here as it stands, but also for the future backlog that we are about to create. Now, another thing, and yeah, the things keep going. I mean, when are we gonna build, right? Now, but another thing that I just wanted to mention is that I was doing something about the slight mountain of passengers that we have here. So I just added a few trains. I don't know if we'll keep them, but this is just to work through the 40-odd thousand passengers that we had over here, which is rapidly declining. And I hope, well, doesn't look like it, but I hope that it's also declining from over here. I think we will have the 40,000 here in no time, but yeah, at some point, you know, all this buildup should have melted away, and we should have accurate and actual passenger transportation. Anyway, yeah, so whilst I was doing that, you know, adding these trains over here to work through the backlog, we got a thing, a present from the, well, from the development gods, and it is a present that I can best just show you. Look, we have a new tram. Look at the upgrade that we have for our tram. Not only is it fast, it is cheap, it can carry a lot, and look at it compared to what we are using. 56 with 30 versus 72 with 70. That's not just a doubling of the capacity, it's also 1.5 times the speed. So if you do 1.5 times 2, we have like triple the actual effective capacity. Now, that's also a good thing, because over here there is a giant backlog. Not really on the station, but definitely over here in the city itself of Little Prartown. So, what are we gonna do? We are going to replace these trams, and I believe that it's not only Little Prartown that has the backlog, but also Vlondinghall. Now, Vlondinghall itself has a boat capacity issue, it seems, which we can easily solve. And over here there isn't really that much, so it's only really for Little Prartown. But yeah, let's do some tram replacement, shall we? And done! Look at how nice. This should mean that in no time we will have worked through the backlog. Now you could see with the passenger trams that some of them were running massive negative profit. That is not because of a lack of passengers, but purely because of working through the backlog. So hopefully that will get fixed now. I do think though that our mail trams will start to become an issue, and unlike road vehicles, our trams cannot do any overtaking. Yeah, that's a slight issue. So effectively they are still limited to just the 56 kilometers an hour speed limit, unless they manage to get here before a mail tram. Then they are not limited, so we'll have to see how it works out. It should be an improvement anyway. Good, moving on. The bauxite mines. Let us go all the way towards the actual bauxite mines. How cool is it just to do like one of these flybys over our network, right? Now, the one over here can easily be hooked up towards this station, and this is already supplied with engineering supplies too. So I think what we should do is tag it onto the road over here. That way we can use the same supply vehicles to ensure quadruple production. Yeah, let's get that sorted first and then move on to the next one. This shouldn't be too difficult. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, hopefully we have enough frequency in our engineering supplies to have all of this stuff here go gung-hoo quadruple on the one supply vehicle. If that turns out not to be the case, what we'll do is just add a larger capacity one. I think that's the solution, but also apparently when I said I've done the thing proper, I might have forgotten to upgrade our most recent vehicles over here. Well, we didn't really need to upgrade them, but I mean, how can you say no to a vehicle that has a 100% reliability? I mean, like, seriously? Yeah, it's too good to be true, right? Next up is over here the well, other bauxite mine. There's two options, or we tag it up over here, but there's no existing whoa. Alright, and this all needs to go by train apparently. Whoa. Maybe we should expand this station too. I'll have a look at that in a moment. As I was saying though, I think what we should do is try and stretch the station as far as we can over here and then just tag it up on this side here. So, because over here we do have an existing structure with engineering supplies and the whole 9 yards. It's just that, well, you know, it's gonna be a little bit far apart, but we'll see how it goes. Let us first get the station there and then see how it turn out in practice, right? Right, I am far from sure that over here we have gotten the right solution right now, to be fair. Also, it seems that I do need to do a quick upgrade here for our vehicles. Let's do that really quickly. Right, and done. Now you have seen what I was doing in those 11 years that was basically the big jump in time. This type of stuff. Yep. Like I said, you know, I've gone, done, and did it proper. Yeah, okay, so over here it has not enhanced yet. I have a suspicion that we really do need to add like more engineering supplies vehicles, but we'll have to see. We'll see how it turns out. For the time being, we'll just let it run a little, and then we'll get back to it shortly. Now over here, we were yeah, nice. We are now seeing a decline in the amount of metal that's waiting over there. And unfortunately, we do not see a build-up in engineering supplies. Ah well, sometimes it happens just like that. Also, are we seeing a Fronwell Ridge build-up here? This might be true. There's two vehicles going to and from, making massive profits. Let's just clone it, just to be sure. I mean, this is like getting like one big cityfied landscape. So we might need more capacity here. And maybe just adding it now is also future-proofing it, right? Okay, next part of the plan. Remember what I said last time about wanting to see how the needs of the cities are currently it's petrol, passengers and mail. I want to expand it to foods and then goods, or whatever the order is. I think it will be food and then goods. So yeah, we should get ourselves some food produced. Now, of course, we have all the fruit, and I think what we should do is have a look at the industry change and see what we have in terms of fruit stuff. Now, select industry. I want fruit plantation. And this can go to a grocery shop, and that produces absolutely nothing. Sugar refinery accepts no fruit. Back to fruit plantation. What do we have? We have only the brewery. So fruit is not actually food. that's my conclusion here. Right? We should look at this the other way. How can we make food? That's the more important question, because clearly it is not how I thought it was. Okay, so food is the product, it's not what's produced. Yeah, where sugar refinery, that makes food, right? Yeah, it does. Nice, so food is also made from a stockyard, dairy, grain mill, fishing harbor. Now, fishing harbor is easy because we know, with the fishes and all. I mean, there's plenty over here. Look, there's fishing grounds everywhere here. So getting food from the fishing grounds doesn't seem that difficult. Though getting it over here in this area is because, there is these fishing grounds here. And there is a route here that we use as well with a fishing harbor. So yeah, these fishing grounds here, we can definitely tap them for food production. But I kind of feel like, that's how it's all started. I don't feel like going back to the roots just yet, not when we are in the future, right? So there's also sugar refinery who can take like the sugar beet. So that's one way. Grain mill, which takes the grain, it's another way. Dairy, which takes the milk, which is another way. And the stockyard, which takes the livestock. So perhaps the farms are the way to go, because it sounds, now that I say it like that, like farms are the way to go for food. I mean, I'm like, wow, it actually makes sense, huh? Is it easy for us to spot like this? No, not really. I think what we need to do is go to the map view and have a look at our industries and see how they do and how they are laid out in particular. So this is what we'll do. Now we know that we have arable farms and we also have dairy farms. We have what was it now? Mixed farms, I believe. Was it not? Yeah, and sheep farms, I believe. Wait, ship 221 is lost. I saw it. We're gonna fix that. Okay, ship 221, huh? Luckily we have it sorted by number, but man. 221. Where art thou? Well, I'm making a profit. Do you need like a boy? You probably do. There, have a Trenton boy now. And then add it over there in the route. And also add it over there in the route. Look, see? Now it should not be lost anymore. That's the way to fix that the proper way. Alright, so this is the lay of the land when it comes down to those farms. there is quite a few of them already over here. Like there's a nice concentration of these white farms. I assume those are sheep farms. There's a nice concentration here. Definitely worth checking out. There's also like it's a bit spread out. It's not really nicely concentrated. The arable farms are also, it's like a nice line over here. And there's like two farms really close by here. It's like a nice cluster. Right, so where did it need to go? I forgot. Balls, I forgot. Let us have a look at the industry chains again. And let us start with the arable farms. These make grain and sugar beets. So we need grain mill and sugar refinery. Game, thank you. Arable farms. Oh crap. I want all those farms still in there. I just want the sugar refinery and grain mills added. Where are the sugar refineries? It's not bad having one over there, to be fair. Is there one like really close by to an existing station? No, not really. No, there is not. Alright, and the grain mills? Hopefully that's near an existing station in a city or something, I'd hope. Grain mill, there you are. Well, there's one over here that's convenient, and that I've spotted. It's also about the only one that's like really conveniently placed. So it's only the sugar refinery that we really need to take care of. I'm tempted to expand the, the multi-lane traffic thing and build another big station around here. That's really tempting. I think we should do that. Let's just have a look here at the situation. So this is the actual sugar refinery. It seems pretty doable if you ask me. I mean, we're already on good footings with the Dead Hill town here because we are surfacing it. Even though it is only from its own station here, we're still servicing it. I might be able to add like docks here and then connect it to the bigger network. That seems doable. Now the reason why we're looking at this is that we have unused farm supplies here. And if we expand the station and also expand our track works like right around the back here before it becomes impossible to hook anything up over here, then yeah, I think we're in business. The other way to do it would be to expand it over here and then here. Have it go around like that. It's a bit of a difficult one, to be fair. I do not really know how to, what would be the wisest decision here. This seems too cramped really, and if we're also going to use the farm supplies here, we already need to expand this station, and if we then also need to make junctions and have the main trackways, which will be 4-lane, also go through the back here, that almost seems like too much to ask for, which makes me then prefer an extension of the train tracks over here and then swing around like over here. Perhaps even as far as going over here and just connecting up the town of Puddington and Frontworth. Not because we have to. but because we can. Yeah, that's interesting. I need to think on this for a moment. I want to set this up first before we start hooking up farms. In the meantime though, let us have a look at how the production over here is going. And is everything still gung-ho quadruple? Over here that seems to be the case, and I also see that our bauxite is running way over capacity. Time to add another train, I feel. And he says that as if it were that easy, but the truth of the matter is that over here we'll have the first one running to the station. But yeah, look, we have another bauxite mine back into the glory hole. I just now noticed something I totally forgot. We have, of course, these new wagons. These trains are slow. I want faster trains. Let us have them, right? I mean, I'm cloning these old trains because, frankly, you know, when I replaced pretty much everything, I obviously didn't do the new electric stuff, even though we had the new wagons. Now, bauxite. This can now be hauled in a large hopper for 120, but it can also go in the faster covered hopper, which is of course what we're gonna use. There, nice. And then use the caboose. There. And you will be converted to bauxite. Very good. Right, so that's sorted. How is the other thingy doing with the new bauxite added? You are also in an enhanced double production. You are still gung-ho quadruple. So are you, and so are you. And over here we are also facing the same issue, basically. What a surprise, right? Now, the problem is that if I add a train over here, it actually will not be able to get here. So, what we could do though is maybe add a train here. No, that wouldn't do much. So we need to do the same trick and have the train be added from over here. Right. Clone train. Remove wagons. And then add bauxite in covered hoppers. And now you all can also see what I was doing, you know, in between those 11 years. This type of stuff, you know, adding trains manually. No, it's the worst. Right, so that's an extra bauxite train there. So this seems to be doing just fine. I think for the metal, this is decreased. And the engineering supplies over here, they have also decreased. So there is no more real backlog. Production has not gone up on that coal mine, for example, nor on that one. That's a bit worrying. That one has had its share of supplies. Where else are these coal mines? That one's doubled. How are this? We have also a good backlog of supplies over here. Now these coal, the coal deliveries over here are for the actual farm supplies and chemicals, I believe. So they're a little bit less important, but if the engineering supplies also are not really, well, we do have a surplus over here, that's for sure. Alright, well I guess, yeah, it's starting to balance itself out. A few of these coal mines are already again in the gung-ho quadruple production. Backlog over here isn't really building up, so Yeah, I think this will eventually settle itself. Good. And just one final check over at Treffingford here. How is your backlog going? Yeah, we are moving everything from Friendinghead, look, to Treffingford. So we're not really solving anything, we're just moving the problem around, really. Oh well, you know, at least the problem is being moved and it's not just building up in one place. I guess we should take solace in that fact. And on that note, I would like to say, join me next time when we will play more OpenTTD.